and welcome to another video from oorail. This video is a quick update to show you how we broke the layout down into multiple track sections called blocks. Basically we took this loop that the N2 here is sitting on that goes around the entire first phase of the layout. We broke it up into 6 sections. So I'm going to go and show you exactly how we did that, and then we'll walk you through the electrics. So what we did was we basically cut the track in a couple of different locations, and so I'll pick up the camera and give you kind of a quick look at that. So right here where the N2 is sitting, if you look right there in the center of the track, and get something to point it out. It's a pencil, it should probably work. Right here you can see that the track's actually been cut, and what I've done is I've used silicone sealant like you use for caulking your sink and stuff in your kitchen, and used that to kind of create a seal. And then what I did was I wired new dropper sections to the track, and if I pull this down here you can see I haven't tidied this up yet, but basically used the orange wire for the right hand rail and the black wire for the left hand rail in the direction of running, and so these go into a terminal block, and then that terminal block goes all the way back over into that nice mess of wiring. We'll clean this up here shortly. So each section is labeled. So this here is another block section, and this is actually powering the previous section. So where this is cut right here, the left hand side is block A, and then the other side, the part that coach is on, is block C. And so what I did was, for the sake of convenience, I wired this end of block C because it was closer to the power controllers, while at the start here I wired the start of block A, which is right here. So if I duck down under the baseboards here, I will show you the mess I'll have to clean up. But basically there's the terminal block for block A, so it kind of goes around here, goes over these 2 pairs of wires, and then I'll have to clean this up. But we have block A here, block B, and block C, and basically we have one set of wires that goes to one of 3 controllers. So this Bachmann controller here is the controller for block A. This Bachmann controller that's fed through this H&M multipack, and then into this multipack DC controller is the power for block B, and then this Bachmann controller here is the power for block C. And you can see there I used the original Bachmann cable, and you can see I just spliced it into the terminal block. And so we got, like I said, block A, block B, and block C. These are the center ones. And then over here you can see I have block C and block B coming from the other sections of the layout. And if I duck the wiring under here, you can see I started to tidy the wiring up a little bit with some of this foil tape. I was using electrical tape, but the humidity down here in the basement, even though it's not that high, was causing the electrical tape to sort of peel off. So I went ahead and put some foil tape in there as well, and you can see there it goes to another terminal block, and you can see it's marked A. And if I pull the thing up, you can see where it's gone in there. And you can also see, if I pull the camera down here, you should also be able to see, you see there where it's that section's wired in. You can also see here this Pullman is sitting in the other block A, which is why it's currently not moving. And then you can see here, if I duck under, we've also got all the wiring before the foil tape, and you can see there it's starting to peel off a little bit, so the foil tape should fix that. And all that wiring has been protected and goes all the way back. Once again, you can sort of see it was peeling here, and put the foil tape in place, and it goes back over there. So I still need to get some tape and some tie wraps and kind of organize that a lot better. But it looks a bit like a spaghetti junction right now. But once that gets tidied up, it'll look pretty good. So the general idea is that each of these are powering 2 block sections at a time, and you can basically control the layout by trying to keep the trains at pace. Now it is a little tricky, and I do have plans to add block detection. So you may remember from my DC video, running DCC and DC at the same time, there's the control for that on the other loop. I did start off by putting in terminal blocks, and then I built out from the terminal blocks to a more complicated circuit. I will be doing that with block detection and the Arduino, but I wanted to get it back up and running in stages. So the first stage was to get it up and running with basically the power controllers in sequence, so you can manually sort of control it. And then with the block sections later on with the train detection, we'll be using the Arduino, probably with some passive sensors and probably some relays to control whether or not power is actually going to and from the track. I do have an Arduino relay control board, and we'll show you some of that in a later video. Alright, so that's basically it for this update. I just wanted to show you guys how we were doing the power there. So it's relatively straightforward. You got 3 power controllers powering 6 block sections, and each one powers the 2A, the 2B, the 2C. So for example, like I said, this one here is the B controller, goes through here, and I control it from the power knob over here on the multi-pack DC controller, and they're all wired here into block B, which goes over into the common block, and those thicker wires you see going into that common block for block B are coming from the other side of the layout. And then there's a kind of a shared power controller that goes back into this, and that's basically like just that one power. So each section's been wired like that, and it allows you to basically set the power, and it runs pretty smoothly. It does take a little bit of trial and error to get the speed to match, and you will notice that some locomotives move faster than the others. So for example, camera back up here for a second. The N2 that you have right around the layout at the moment, Lady Patricia, runs pretty well, but the Brighton Bell moves an awful lot faster than it, so every so often I have to stop the Brighton Bell in the A section so that it doesn't catch up and obviously crash. So we'll give you a quick demonstration here. So I've got power already applied to B and C, and I'm going to apply power to A, and it should see the N2 come around here after Lady Patricia. So there's Lady Patricia, and here comes the N2. It's just entered section B, and it's now entered section C, and right behind it should be the Brighton Bell. Now it's going to catch up with the N2, so over on the other section, now that the N2 is clear of the A section, I'm going to slow this down. And Brighton Bell is now in the A section, and it's slowing down. I'm going to bring it to a stop. I'm going to wait for the N2 to catch up. And now the N2's entered the A section, I'm applying power to it again. And you should see it coming around through the tunnel. Now, Here goes the Brighton bell. And I've slowed the N2 down slightly, and I'll speed it back up. And so you can basically, with the way this is set up, even if you got two locomotives that are pretty slow and one's fast, you should be able to just control it all from the controller. Now the N2 here is moving a bit slower because the Brighton bell is actually on the same B section on the other end. So the power controller had a little higher current draw. That does happen depending on how the locomotives catch up and go around the layout, but my layout's big enough that it doesn't happen very often, but it does get into that sequence. And the nice thing with that is it does actually cause the locomotives to create more of a gap as well, so it doesn't slow down unrealistically. And I've got the brakes set up in such a section so that they're kind of like the enter and exit stations, so it looks pretty okay. Now the only problem I did have was in the section by the Chippenham Junction. I cut the track a little too close to a set of points, so the rail sort of bent a little bit, but I was able to fix it. It seems to be okay. It's caused a few derailments like it just did for the Brighton bell, but hopefully I should be able to fix that pretty soon. And I'll just give you a quick look at the derailment since it was reasonably spectacular. So you can see here the Brighton bell has sort of come off the track, and the reason for that is it's gone a little too slow right through here. And the track's pretty okay, but there's a slight height difference between the two rails, and this seems to be causing just enough to periodically sort of derail it. So I'm probably going to get the Dremel tool and sand this down with the Dremel tool so it maybe creates a little dip rather than a abrupt sharp edge on one side, and hopefully that should fix the problem. Alright, so I'm going to leave you with a spectacular looking derailment here. As you can see, it's gone ahead and come off the rails pretty good. And that's it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time.